I've been journaling for round about 9 years, and over those 9 years I have experimented with paper journals like this one, and I've experimented using a digital version called Day One. Now, how I journaled hasn't really been an issue until earlier this year. What really mattered to me was that every morning when I made my cup of coffee, I was able to sit down and just empty my head of all the thoughts that had come up overnight and any concerns that I had, and also just to get my day kick-started because it enabled me to get really focused on what I wanted to get accomplished that day. But then towards the end of last year, I noticed that I never went into Day One and looked at my previous entries. I didn't even use their On This Day feature. I was just regurgitating words into another screen every single day, but I never reflected, I never went back and looked at them. That was very different from these journals that I created way back in 2018, 2019. And I often found myself going back into these journals just looking at what I'd written because I keep them on my bookshelf here behind me, and usually when I'm waiting for a coaching call to start, when I'm coaching somebody and I'm waiting a few minutes, I'd pick one of these out of the bookshelf and I'd look through it and go, wow, I remember when I was in Singapore back in, oh no, this was Hong Kong back in 2018 for ABGT 300. And those of you in the know will know what above and beyond group therapy, that's the words I was looking for, ABGT 300, 2018. And I have it all in this journal. And I can go back through these journals and I can just see all these amazing entries that I've made. And I just loved it. And yet with my digital journal, I never went back. I never looked. So at the beginning of this year, I decided it's time to go back to paper journals. But some things have changed a little bit. First up, these Galaxy leather journals don't really work very well with fountain pens. And if you followed my videos in recent months, you'll know that I have a love of fountain pens. Speaking of which, today's fountain pen is my journaling pen, which is an Alfred Dunhill Centuryman. Sidecar, not Centuryman. This is a sidecar fountain pen. I love its balance. I love the smoothness of its 18 karat gold nib. And it's always been my journaling pen. I used to write all my journals back in 2018, using this pen. And I thought, right, well, when I'm going to go back digital this year, I am going to use this pen. But the paper quality in these Galaxy leather journals is not great, so what could I do? So in January, I did a bit of experimenting. I tried a lot of different notebooks. There was a few criteria that I wanted in my journal. First up, it needed to be a B5 notebook. Now these are not actually that easy to come by. Mainly you can get A5, which is the standard notebook size, but these are a little bit bigger, and they are, for me, for writing a journal, just give you that little extra space to actually add things and just stick things and all sorts of things like that. So that kind of ruled out a lot of the notebooks on the market, because I would have probably gone with Rhodia because Rhodia paper is fantastic. In the end, what I ended up with was a Baronfig Confiant, and it's the plus size, so it's the biggest one they do. I've also ordered this, this one come in light grey. They actually come in two colours, if you can call grey a colour, light or dark grey. And I've also ordered the lined version. Now the thing about this is that I have absolutely, it's been a joy to write in this. First of all, they're a lot more fountain pen compatible than the Galaxy leather ones. Secondly, it's hardback. It's got like a linen or fabric cover, but it's hardback. The great thing about, the thing I love about these analog journals is that I can stick things in here. Now this is a wine, a Poulet Foussé from France, that I have been looking for a very, very long time. And I finally found a couple of bottles here in Korea. We got them ordered, they came along, so this Louis Latour white wine, absolutely delicious. I highly recommend it. But I actually spent a day steaming off the label so I could stick it into my journal. And that's something that I put in there. Here's a little card that my wife gave me. And basically it's just a 4-leaf clover, and I stuck that into my journal. I mean, right now, I mean, these are quite recent times. And also I've put in like little things. I recently got a new, I've had to redo all my credit cards, and the credit card that I got, they sent some stickers. So I put the stickers in here as well. But the great thing about these kind of journals, or this writing by hand, is I have complete freedom in the way that the diary or the journal is laid out. The other thing that I do is I keep a track of my morning routine. So I'm writing my morning routines down here. There's only 5 things in my morning routine, and I write them down by hand. It's only 5 things, doesn't take long, and check them off when I've done them. Another thing I'm doing is I'm keeping a track of my press-up challenge in 2024. Now, my press-up challenge is a minimum of 10 press-ups or push-ups, if you prefer, every single day. And I've been doing that every day since the 1st of January. I think we've got over 3,000 press-ups now in April. And I'm now up to doing 42 on this particular day, 32 that day, 30, 30. So I'm between 30 and say 40 push-ups a day now. And it's not that difficult. It started with 10 and now we're up to 40. But these confident journals are absolutely fantastic. The only problem I have, Baronfig, if you're watching, is they're currently out of stock. Now, that's not good because they've been out of stock for at least 2 months now, and it would be really nice to be able to get more of these in stock, please. But they are fantastic. And I love these journals because they work brilliantly with fountain pens. I can use different colors. You know, the other thing about formatting, I was thinking about how I would reorganize my structure in my day, and I just drew out a little diagram at the bottom there. You know, there's all sorts of things that I've put in here, and I absolutely love it. And seriously, if you are going to go into journaling, I strongly recommend that you go paper. Get yourself a really nice notebook. It doesn't have to be Baronfig, it can be any notebook. If you're using fountain pen, I would be a little bit more careful and make sure that they're fountain pen friendly, because you don't want it all bleeding through and have those spidery little legs coming from your ink. But as I say, one thing I can assure you is when you sit down and you start writing a journal consistently, you really do get that mental clarity. It also is very soothing. It's very therapeutic. I mean, I use different colored inks as well, by the way. I've noticed that I've got my green ink. I'm not sure it was showing the camera, but I've got my green ink and my dark green ink there. I noticed I've got some blue ink in here. And I did some blue ink there. It's absolutely fantastic. You can experiment, you can do anything you like with it because it's your journal. But the beauty of it is in time, you can go back like I've done with these journals here, and you can see all the little things that you've put in there. And it's just probably one of the best things you will ever do in your life is to keep some kind of journal. Plus you start buying all sorts of weird things. I've got now glue. I've got different coloured inks, so I can use different coloured inks in my journal. I'm not actually buying different coloured inks for any other reason, but it is just one of those, it's almost like a hobby. And I've sat out, now the weather's getting nicer, I can sit outside on the terrace and just write my journal because it's hard, you know, this very hard copy, so it's easy to balance. And I think it's one of those things that if you want to get serious about productivity, that little bit of clarity that you get first thing in the morning by just writing out your thoughts, emptying your head, and then perhaps just writing in the margin, these are the things that I want to get accomplished today. It's going to help you get more things done. It's going to help you to stay relaxed and have a better perspective on life. And just think of all the people who have journaled in history. I mean, there's tons and tons of them out there. You can go online and do a Google search and find like Leonardo da Vinci's journals. You can find Alan Clark, who you will probably never heard of, but he was a politician who wrote some amazing journals. Tony Benn, brilliant journals to read. And This is your history. This is your life being documented. You don't want to lose this opportunity. Plus, you see, over the years, you get to see, I mean, as I say, I've got 5 journals here, and there's more. It's my library. It's my life that's in here. And incidentally, I've just been reading about Charles de Gaulle, and he was another journal writer. And it's just amazing to see that history. Now, you might not think you're ever going to be important in the world, and most of us probably aren't. But the thing is, you don't know if you will eventually be somebody's important. But if not, one of the most important things to remember is these can be handed down to your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren. It's your history, it's your life. Document it and have fun doing it. Now, you want to learn more about my paper project this year, this video up here will give you a little bit more of an explanation about why I'm returning a little bit more to paper.